Are you being required by airlines to get travel insurance? Whether you're Filipino or non-Filipino, whether you need it or you don't? Listen to this one comment I received in my vlog. Stay with me, we'll talk about it. Someone traveling to the Philippines commented on my vlog. This comment is a result of a friend going to the Philippines. Let's take a look at it. Hello, Grandpa. I thought to share this news I received from my friend. Husband and wife just got back from the Philippines. Maybe got back to the Philippines. They stayed in the Philippines 5 weeks. They bought their tickets online, Philippine Airlines. When they check in at LAX, they ask 2 kinds of insurance. One for luggage insurance, second insurance for your flight. I assume that's flight cancellation insurance. They told them that if they don't buy these 2 insurance, they cannot board the plane. Really. And if airline lost their luggage, they cannot claim their lost luggage. Second, if anything happens to a passenger because they don't buy flight insurance, the family cannot claim their loved one. It's crazy. Too many people complain because they purchase tickets online. They don't mention it's mandatory to buy two insurance. The price of the insurance, $120 each person. They end up paying $240. Philippines are so corrupt because of the pandemic. They lost income. Now they want to collect money to all passengers as much as they can. Philippine government is a #1 corrupt. What else they're going to charge on passengers, on all passengers? I'm embarrassed to be a Filipina. I am embarrassed as well. Let's talk about travel insurance. What is travel insurance? What is required? What is not required? Before the pandemic, travel insurance was not required at all. It's strictly optional. And at the time, they did not have medical insurance. They did have medical insurance, but they did not have medical insurance specifically for COVID. Now, since the Philippines, not the airlines, but the Philippine government requires select number of people to have policy covering them in case they're infected with COVID, the business has really grown out of proportion. All insurance companies came out with these policies, includes this, includes that, and of course, the premiums skyrocketed. So let's talk about travel insurance, okay? Having said that as the background, you are not required by Philippine Airlines or any other airline for that matter, except for what is mandated by the Philippines or some other countries. Injury or sickness, okay? Protection for injury or sickness. Travel insurance helps protect you from medical expenses abroad not covered by your existing insurance. So it's not necessarily bad. Some people opted to get travel insurance, including medical, for their own protection in case they're scared to take that risk. Most health insurance plans don't provide full coverage in foreign countries, including Medicare. So a lot of people ask me, hey, am I going to be covered by TRICARE and things like that? Talk to your insurance company and find out if you will be covered. Look at your policy to see if you will be covered and specifically include COVID. Travel insurance can help supplement medical costs if you get sick or injured or during your vacation. Now, maybe you're scared that you will have a heart attack. But if you already had a history of heart attack, you may not be covered because you may have pre-existing condition. So look into those as well. The other type of policy required is lost luggage. Not required, but optional is lost luggage. Travel insurance helps cover expenses incurred from lost or stolen luggage. In the United States, listen to this, the Department of Transportation requires airlines to compensate flyers up to $3,300 for lost luggage. In foreign countries, that amount to a maximum of $1,750 in case of foreign countries. Passengers must provide a receipt proving the value of lost and their content. Be sure you know the terms in the policy you're buying. What do you need to show to prove that you lost the luggage? Do you need to show values of the properties that you have? Can you show values? For example, if everything you have there are clothes, underwear, and things like that, how do you prove value? How do you prove value? So you may be automatically buying something that later is going to give you a headache. How do I file this claim? So look into those. Department of Transportation doesn't define when baggage is officially lost as opposed to just being delayed. Overseas, a bag is only considered lost after 21 days. For delayed bags, the Department of Transportation only requires airlines to provide victims with enough money to buy necessities like clothing, medicine, and toiletries. That means if you have other things there like camera that is not considered necessity, you may not be covered. Now, I have been traveling all my life. I have never bought travel insurance except one time. I can't remember why I bought it. I think I went to the Philippines, but I'm really more interested in trip cancellation, which I'm going to show you. And for that reason, I opted to buy travel insurance. But that was the only time in all the hundreds of trips I have been going through. As you know, when I was working, I was taking flight almost like 4 flights a week, going back and forth to different places because I was in sales. Never had any problem. Now, I had maybe 3 times delayed luggage, including a gun. I transported a gun, and I did not get my gun until 3 days later, but I was able to recover it from the airline. It was rerouted to some other flight by mistake, and I got it. So I would have been wasting money on lost luggage policy. And by the way, when you buy travel insurance, don't just say travel insurance. You want to know what is travel insurance. Lost luggage, injury, or the third one, last minute cancellation, trip cancellation policy. What is included, what is not included, and can I buy only selected coverage? Because right now, Philippines is requiring that you have a policy for COVID, not just medical. It should say COVID up to $35,000 or more, but not less. That is the only thing that is required by the government, and that is the only thing the airline can require you. They cannot require you anything else. Everything is optional. Not necessarily a bad idea to have it. It's your choice, but don't be conned into thinking that you are required these policies. Travel insurance can help cover costs stemming from trip cancellations. I think this is the only thing that I was worried about in my flight to the Philippines. I think there was something going on. I said, gee, I may need to cancel this flight in case I'm still not feeling well or something like that. So I bought a trip cancellation policy. I did not use it. I did not need it. Most won't give you a refund in the event of a cancellation. We're going to talk a little bit more about that. If you cancel, say, 2 weeks or more before your trip, most will at least charge a cancellation fee or will give you partial credit on another flight. If you cancel within, say, 2 weeks of a trip, you won't get any refund whatsoever. This next one showed up here. But let me explain something to you before. As I mentioned, I've been traveling heavily, almost daily in my younger years. I don't know what it is now. Okay? Things may have changed. But I never bought travel insurance. Never at all. Now, did I have trip cancellation, trip delays, and things like that? Of course. In fact, in one instance, I can't remember where I was because I'm traveling so much. I was in one area, I think it was Chicago, and there was a bad storm. And usually when it's a what they call acts of God, like a weather, if that is the reason for the cancellation of a trip, usually the insurance companies are not liable for it. But you know what? Nevertheless, they honor it. When I arrived in Chicago, my next flight was canceled again because of storm, because of weather. And because of the weather, a lot of flights were canceled. Because there were lots of flights canceled, hotels are booked, and the airline was going to pay did pay for my hotel, but there was no hotel available. And guess what? I got on the next local plane, which is a small plane, and they flew me within maybe it's a 30-minute flight nearby, but not outside of Chicago. I was the only passenger. They dropped me off at the hotel. I checked in at the hotel, slept for a few hours, took a shower, came back. I was picked up again by the same flight, taken back to Chicago, and then I took the connecting flight. Did I pay for that airfare? No. Did I pay for the hotel? No. It was honored by the airline. Now, maybe things change today. Maybe they all have these policies of no refund, etc., etc. And I don't know. And that's why I don't enjoy traveling anymore. Thank God I'm no longer doing that same job. What travel insurance might not cover? There are many certain things may not be covered under travel insurance. If you have pre-existing condition, look for a plan that provides pre-existing condition waiver. So you have to know your policy. If you're visiting an area with political unrest, election time, check into what coverage your policy provides if you wish to cancel due to problems in the area. In case you realize it's unsafe and you want to cancel, what's their policy on that? Travel insurance policies cover some incidences of tour operators' default due to financial issues. Look into how that is handled before booking your trip. The bottom line is, know what it is you're buying, because not everything is the same. Some policies are more comprehensive, some policies have more restrictions. Look at what you're buying. And don't ask me, where can I buy? There are many places on the internet. Look for it, okay? It's a lot of work, and that's the reason why it's not fun to travel nowadays. I plan to go to the Philippines as soon as this testing is hopefully lifted. And I think that's the only thing I'm waiting for now, because we are no longer required to have travel insurance. Let me repeat this again. Travel insurance is required for 9A visa holders. Okay, 9A visa holders. Filipino citizens or former Filipino citizens are not required to have travel insurance. When I say travel insurance, only the medical part. So if you can buy one that excludes trip cancellation and that exclude, well, I may be interested in trip cancellation right now because of what's going on, but make sure you know what you're buying and you're paying only for what you're buying. You may not be interested in lost luggage, so make sure that is eliminated, and that will reduce your cost. So that is not required. The medical insurance is not required for Filipino citizens or former Filipino citizens. It's also not required for foreign spouses or children of Filipino citizen. It did not say for balikbayan, because for you to be a balikbayan, you have to be traveling with your partner, with your Filipino or former Filipino wife or spouse. So, even though, for example, if you're traveling alone and your wife is already in the Philippines, and of course you're not going to stay only for 30 days, you're going to stay for 4 or 5 months, for example, you may want to get a 9A visa. When you get a 9A visa, if you are able to prove with a marriage certificate that you're married to a former Filipino or current Filipino citizen, you too will not be required to have travel insurance. Okay? And again, Philippines is only addressing travel medical insurance, not lost luggage, that's not required, and trip cancellation, that is not required, although right now may be very important. And I really don't know how much is trip cancellation and lost luggage as compared to medical insurance. I would imagine the medical insurance piece is more expensive. And for some people say, gee, you're so cheap. Well, I know I'm cheap, but you're so cheap. Oh, why not just pay for it? Guess what, guys? If you're staying there for 6 months, for 1 month, okay, get it out of the way. Just buy travel insurance. Doesn't matter. But if you're staying there for 6 months, multiply that premium by 6 months. It's not cheap. It's not cheap. So it depends on your situation. So if you have any questions, I'll appreciate it if you put it in the comment section. And I do appreciate the email I receive. Anybody who is emailing or commenting something that contributes to my channel, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. If it is important enough and quite difficult to explain by email or by response, I will do a vlog on it. Thank you so much for watching. In case you haven't subscribed yet, I'll appreciate it if you subscribe, and please click that notification bell. And do share this with other people, your friends or relatives. God bless, and make it a great day.